This is a family. This ain't a football club.
Hello there and welcome to the West Ham rebuild. In today's episode we have a double header in the UEFA Conference League. Apparently I can't say UEFA. Against Bologna. But anyway, since that last episode against KUPS, in the last episode of the group stage, we have played quite a few games. Ipswich, a 4-2 win, Nathan the Cat getting 2, and did we play that one? I think we played that one actually. 1-1 draw with Aston Villa away from home, with this one Ruben Neves on the score sheet for us in that one. 2-0 win against Leicester at home, Ollie Watkins getting 2 in that one. Shea Lacey getting 2 away from home against Burnley to get a 2-1 win in that one. At home in the Premier League, we had a 3-1 win against Manchester City. Shea Lacey on the score sheet against his Manchester rival, and then Ollie Watkins getting 2. Over to the FA Cup, wasn't quite as easy as a 3-2 win after extra time with Marcelinho. Who is he? A youth player. Completely forgot who he was. Right, I've just lost where I was now. Norwich, 1-1 draw. Jared Banthwaite getting a goal in that one. Malagusto and Ollie Watkins getting a goal. Castro getting a goal for Newcastle and then 90+4. Over to Liverpool in the Premier League and 2-1 defeat away from home. Shea Lacey getting a goal for us in that one. Fulham and a 1-1 draw in that one. Ollie Watkins getting a goal in that one. At home in the FA Cup, and we beat 2-1 against Birmingham. A little bit easier in this one, even though we did have to score 2 late goals. First one from Villa and second one in the 90+1 for Nathan the Cat. Evan Nelson getting sent off against Bournemouth, and then Ollie Watkins getting a 72nd minute winner for us away from home. Pedro Neto getting a 1 goal for us to get 3 points at home against Arsenal. And then the same result, but Ollie Watkins on this one. Anyway, last 16 we have Bologna starting it away from home. We do have Liverpool in the FA Cup in the middle of it, but I'm not sure you guys care about the FA Cup as much. Anyway, this is the team that we will be taking. Malagusto and Ben Chilwell are back. So Ramsdale in goal with Gusto, Goose, Branthwaite, Chilwell, the Cat, Fernandez, Anderson, Shea Lacey, the man in form, Neto, and Watkins. Just look at this. Shea Lacey's got 15 goals, 5 assists. Ollie Watkins, 22 goals, 2 assists. Hopefully they can score some more in this one and get us through to the next round of the UEFA Conference League. If we go on stages, I'm not sure what that means to anyone. Shamrock Rovers beating Genk 4-3. AK. A couple games yet to be played. Charleroi and Motherwell. Right, we'll have a look at the Premier League table as well, because I know I haven't shown that in a little while. Over to Premier League, and we are 3rd in the league. 28 games played, probably get a Champions League position, but this is the last season unfortunately, so let's hope we get something good in the UEFA Conference League. Anyway, this first game against Bologna, Ben Chilwell is lacking a little bit of mark sharpness, but I think he'll be fine. So then, away in Italy against Bologna, they are probably one of the best teams left in the UEFA Conference League, but it should be realistically a team that will still be in. Half an hour in, no highlights so far. Gustav Branthwaite to Goose. In our white kit this time. The Cat back to Fernandez. Hopefully Shea Lacey can continue with good form. It's on the ball right now. On the right side, cuts in. Can he take a shot? He does take a shot. Keeper. Not even going to try and pronounce that one. Just going to be a complete mess up. Decent save by the keeper. 0-0. Ravaglia. Sure. Goal kick from him to Lukumi. To Bonfatti. Don't know why I went all Calabria on this round side. Crossfield ball I mean, I can't tell if that was a cross or a shot, but anyway, he goes out for a goal kick. Just before half time, Watkins on the ball, feeds Gusto on the right hand side. There's a couple players in the box, but does go down. Referee doesn't give the free kick. Vlasic, who I believe is a former West Ham player, can't be sure. Shot, not really tempting the goalkeeper. 48 minutes in, still 0-0 in this one. I think if we can get a draw on this one, maybe even snatch a goal, would be a decent result. Take them to our place, and we should be decent at home. Nikola Vlasic, Karlstrom, forward to Fabian. Shot from distance, Ramsdale tips around the post. 49 minutes in, Bologna seems to be the better side, at least in the second half. Vlasic, Watkins, of all people, coming back. Lacey's long ball doesn't really reach anyone. Neto does win it back though. Another player not really known for his tracking back. Lacey on the right hand side. Forward to Watkins. Is he even onside? Does put the goal in the back of the net, but as I suspected, he is offside. Bertola to Lucchini for Bologna. 57 minutes in, still 0 in this one in Italy. Karlstrom to Broderich. We do have wing backs in this one, which is a formation that I continually struggle on. In this, Vlasic, decent little shot. Not really testing Ramsdale though. 57 minutes in, and looks like Bologna having a little bit of the better of the play. Decent little ball out to Chilwell, to Neto, up to Watkins. Is he onside this time? Watkins, decent little shot. I think he was onside, but shoots straight at the keeper, out for a corner. 73 minutes in, still 0-0. Not really anyone's taking control of this game so far. Ollie Watkins did have the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside. Branthwaite knocks it down to Fernandez. Fernandez over to Shea Lacey. Shea Lacey takes on his man, absolutely just dances through the midfield and on defence on the other hand. But his shot is straight into the crowd. Forward to Bradarich. Gusto does get it back though. Goose, who has been wanting a new contract. Maybe he can sign that new contract, especially because we're not going to be here next season. Gusto does lose out to Orsolini. Decent shot. Ramsdale tips around the post. Orsolini is a pretty good player, if I remember right. Into extra time on this one. 92 minutes in. Looks like it might be a 0-0, taking back to the London Stadium. Gusto to Fernandez, to Goose, to Gusto. Can we get a late goal? If anyone's going to do it, Shea Lacey will. Shea Lacey into the box. Decent save from Watkins. Neto, ball cut out. Gusto, can he win that? He can't. Ball straight to Goose though. There we are then. 0-0 in this one. Ramsdale getting our best player, which kind of says a lot. We did beat him on XG away from home, which is decent, but it all goes back to the London Stadium. So then, after that 3-1 loss against Liverpool in midweek, which I decided to just gloss over a little bit, Ramsdale starts in goal for this home tie against Bologna in the UEFA Conference League at round of 16. 0-0 after the first leg. Gusto, Goose, Branthwaite, Chilwell, Decat, Fernandez, Anderson, Lacey, Neto, and Watkins. So here we are then at home in the UEFA Conference League. 0-0 after the first leg. Probably the better team in the first leg, but they are playing that 3-5-3-4-3, and it's definitely a formation that we definitely struggle against. Bertola for Bologna in a pretty nice blue kit. Delinga in behind to Ferguson, to Bertola, to Pogba, not Paul Pogba. Bradarich shot, Ramsdale saves it, it's near post. 5 minutes in, Bologna, the away team, seem to have started better in this one. Shea Lacey with the ball over to Fernandez. Gusto, 11 minutes in, we have our first highlight to us. Gusto Over to Fernandez, back to Lacey. Can he get some decent delivery in? Gusto to Lacey, to Gusto, to Anderson, hits the post. Absolute open goal. That could have been the difference. Gusto on this round side, 28 minutes in. Lacey with the ball. Cuts into Watkins. Watkins does go down. Not really sure why he went down. Neto's to Chilwell, the Cat, Anderson, Lacey. Does win it back through a little bit of a lucky deflection though. Shot straight to keeper, out for a corner. Neto, can the Cat from last episode get his head on this one? Neto doesn't win it. Out to Neto, to Lacey. Tries to find Neto again. Ferguson will go away. Well, get the ball away at least. Chilwell to the Cat. To Chilwell. Has Neto somewhere, not really sure. Chilwell doesn't really have the pace to go past Vlasic, or Vlasic's doing pretty good. Straight out for throw-in though. Up to Watkins. Flicked on for Neto. Tries to get in through his man Bonfatti away. They do win the header, but Branthwaite picks up the pieces. To Cat. Over to Neto. Decent little ball. Crossfield ball in to Fernandez on the volley. Hits that. Oh my god. Mateus Fernandez. Just honestly, do the arrow celebration all you want. That is absolutely outstanding. Is that? That's like a fake Erdegaard. We've got a fake Pogba and a fake Erdegaard. Watkins to Anderson. Mateus Fernandez. I'm still speechless after that goal. Watkins has Shea Lacey in the box. Goes to Gusto. Gets it back. Shea Lacey on his right foot. Defended well. B-Tech Odegaard on his left hand side. He's just going to score against me now, isn't he? Just before half time. Corner from Neto. No one under really. The Cat to Lacey. Does have quite a few men to take on. Does try. Gusto to Fernandez. Knocks it on towards Watkins. Gusto picks up the pieces though. Crossing for Watkins. And Watkins makes it 2. Just before half time is a very good way to score. And especially if it puts you 2-0 up. Gusto down the right hand side just as first half kicks off. Watkins doesn't really jump on it. Varela half-time substitution. Neto was picking up an injury and just don't really want to make him injured. Decent cross-field ball and Ollie Watkins makes it 3. With Ollie Watkins' goal just before half-time and just after half-time, it's 3-0. That is exactly what we need to go into the next round of the Conference League. But I knew I've got it all to do in this second half, and if we're on this form, it's going to be a hell of a task for them. Playing around the back a little bit. Looks like they're 3-4-3, 5 what? Just whatever. Sure. Doesn't really work at this point. Bradderich into Erdegaard. De Cat into that pretty easily. Goose to Branthwaite. Over to Chilwell, to Varela. I'm sure he's was convinced he was just going to attack his man, but pretty convincing just to pass it around and waste a bit of time. The Cat to Chilwell, to Varela, back to Chilwell, to Varela. Maybe he'll take on his man this time. Does take on his man, cuts in, forward ball to Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins has his hat-trick. West Ham 4, Bologna 0. We're making this game look a little bit easier than it probably should be. Bologna, to be fair, one of the better teams in this competition, so knocking them out will do us a big favour, and even after VAR, that goal is awarded. Varela on this left-hand side, 69 minutes in, Watkins already has a hat-trick. Vlasic, header only to Branthwaite, to Gusto on this right-hand side. Can we get a 5th, maybe? Gusto, crossfield ball. Varela's not really going to win that. Anderson picks up the pieces, though. Takes on his man. As a crossfield ball and Shea Lacey. Wouldn't be a decent performance from West Ham this season without Shea Lacey. 5th goal in 7 matches in the UEFA Conference League. And this game just got a little bit out of hand. 75 minutes in, Varela, crossfield ball. Fernandez does pick it up though, 1-2 the cat to Anderson. Midfield just complements itself so well. Varela down the line, Chilwell gets it back though. Anderson to Fernandez to Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins has the ball in the back of the net for a second time in this episode, but this time it is offside. Or maybe it was last episode, I can't remember. VR checking that goal, and it's going to be disallowed. Ramsdale with a goal kick. Gusto on this round side. 5-star performance from West Ham in this second leg. Lacey to Watkins. Is he onside? Can he finish it? He can't finish it. Hits the side net in after a decent save from their keeper. We'll get a corner though. Anderson to Chilwell. Crossfield ball. Lacey isn't going to really win that. Does huck it back to Gusto though. Back to Lacey. To Gusto again. Back to Goose. Pretty happy just to pass it around for now. Anderson to the cat. To Watkins. To Lacey. Just look at this football. That finish is a little bit unfortunate because that was hell of a good play. Out for the corner though. Chilwell to whip it in. Can we get a set piece goal just to wrap it all up? Not yet. Varela to Chilwell. Up to Watkins. Watkins does win it, and we do get just speechless. West Ham at 6, Bologna 0. Just this performance, second half performance has just been wow. And there we are then, full time in this one, and then full time onto the next round of the UEFA Conference League, which will be in the next episode. I do believe it's the quarter-final next. Just look at that, 26 shots, 16 on target, almost a 4xG, 16 corners. Didn't win on possession, but won on everything else. Ollie Watkins getting a perfect 10 rating. Anyway, that is the end of today's episode, and I'll see you next episode for the next round of the UEFA Conference League.